What's up, guys? Welcome to a Savage Gaming Podcast, Episode 3. I'm a Savage Kev.
I'm Paul.
I'm Shane. I feel obligated to do this podcast is brought to you by thing. So this podcast is brought to you by The Scoop. I love you, Pickles.
The Scoop.
Sorry about what happened last night. We had a lot of fun. We love you to death, but it was your show, and we kind of acted like selfish brats. So you're sponsoring this because we said you are. So cheers,
to
brother.
The Scoop.
Thank you for having us on, man. We love you.
Appreciate it. Let me get right into it, guys. There's already rumors of a new Xbox dashboard. Now, if I recall, didn't we get a new...
I don't think there are rumors at this point. Like, I think it's a thing that's
hard.
happening that they've just announced.
Yeah. But didn't we get one, a month ago?
And it sucked. And the one
Most certainly not a month ago. It's probably been like 8 months, but I still...
No, it's been less than 8 months, man. It's been,
you think it's
2
been
or 3?
that soon?
I'd say, about two months, maybe.
All right. Well, sorry, guys, for being, so ill-prepared on not actually being able to back up the shit that we're trying to defend.
I just started learning the new setup, I got real comfortable with it recently, and then yesterday or the day before I saw they were coming out with a new dashboard. It's like, look, Xbox, love you. Stop fucking up.
Right.
Stop rearranging the dashboard.
Right.
You're not helping anybody with rearranging the dashboard.
Not
All you're
at all.
doing is confusing people that have already gotten used to your system. You're not helping anybody with anything. You're just confusing people.
I'm going to do a thing that's, insanely out of character for me, but I'm not going to shit on it. I'm going to talk about, the positive points of it.
Let's do it.
For one, they're kind of revamping the achievement system to where you can sort them certain ways.
Right.
So you can do, from what I heard, you can do rarest to least rarest, and then kind of figure out that way. I think you can sort them to a point where it's the ones that you're closest to achieving, and then you can also sort them game to game.
Right.
Which is before it was just this big. It's this weird thing that they push it so you can get all of these achievements and you can get your points high, but then when you go to look at them and you want to appreciate them as far as a trophy case type situation,
Right. That's what they are.
it's just chaos.
Yeah,
You're all right,
yeah.
now I have to learn this system.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really positive thing, and I like that.
Me being
That's a
a fan
plus.
of achievements, I'm down for that.
That's definitely a plus, but
Yep.
I'm upset with the new dashboard thing because when I first bought the system, when I turned it on, I just had to flick the joystick to the left and I could see who else was playing what game,
Yeah.
everybody that was
Yeah.
on and everything. Now
I do miss that.
Now I have to hit a
that.
menu button and go somewhere else and then choose, do I want to see everybody online or do I want to see who's in games only? Just let me turn the game on and see who's playing games, man.
Yeah.
Well, another thing that I like, they're gonna, from what I understand, they're gonna add a do not disturb mode, and
Nice.
I really like that. And it's a really good thing for what we do as streamers,
Absolutely.
to where
Absolutely.
we're midstream and no one can just jump in a
Jump in,
party or try to jump into a game where we can use an extra player, but
Right.
we're comfortable with what we're doing.
Yeah.
So I think that's a positive. I think that's a really solid feature, man.
Yeah, it's a nice new feature. It
And
really is.
There's been plenty of times when I've been playing a one-player game by myself. Somebody would a friend would send me an invitation hey, come join this game. We're all playing this. It's I'm obviously playing this other thing. Stop bothering me right now.
Well, we had a thing where Kevin and I was streaming not too long ago, and someone that he was friends with just joined the party and
just
started
popped in.
talking midstream.
Right.
No.
And it wasn't, you don't want to kill a fucking dude, but it's one of those things if you can avoid that happening,
I'm all about that.
It's a cool situation to
as
have
far
that
as
option.
streaming, I'm all about that. 100%. They need to have a.
So it's one of those things. I feel like you. I don't mean to cut you off. I know you're going somewhere, but I feel like it's that thing where you want to be pissed off because they're doing something and they're changing everything up, and you got to learn this new thing. But at the same time, they really are doing some cool, positive stuff with it.
No,
it might not completely change up the view either.
Right,
I mean, they can still
right.
use that same menu. Not saying that honestly, they're probably just gonna do some shit. And you're like, God damn, we gotta do this again. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a cynic inside of me that still
and here's
understands that.
another thing. I don't know if they fixed this recently, but I know many times I've tried to do this, it wouldn't allow me to do it. But you can't use credit you have saved on your Microsoft account to pay for backwards compatibility games. Kiss my ass. Instead of redesigning the way the page looks every time I turn it on, how about you fix letting me give you money for games I want to play?
Yeah, I ran into that problem, and also with the Game Pass. And for months he had Game Pass, and he's like, "Dude, you got to get Game Pass." I'm like, "Man, I just, I don't want to go that route. I do everything prepaid, you know." And I went, and they're finally doing Game Pass monthly subscription with your Microsoft account balance.
All right.
So if they're gonna do that, hopefully they'll double back and make backwards compatible, whatever games with the Microsoft account points. That would be splendid. That would be great.
That should have been done long before changing the way the front page looks 8 times.
I agree, but
I say, I'm like, interestingly enough, because no one's ever pegged me to be that guy, but like I'm the dude that's trying to shine the positive light on this thing.
100%. I love it.
Silver lining Shane.
Yeah, right. Like it's very rare and interesting to people that know me. But no, man, I think it's cool. Like as much as I want to dislike it, I'm kind of looking forward to some of the features. Like I think that would be cool. Like I've never really paid attention to achievements, but now that it's easy for me to pay attention to them, I'm a little more interested.
Well, I remember you did mention to me when we were talking about this earlier that they were going to start rewarding you for achievements. You can turn in achievements, and I remember they started talking about that years ago. So I'm glad they're finally taking action on that.
Well, here's to get to a weird point with it. They're talking about doing a loot box system.
Well, for like avatar
on
stuff?
the Xbox dashboard. For what I understand, yes.
Okay.
Avatar.
That's fine. Yeah, purely
like
cosmetic
you
stuff.
get a new hat, whatever. Yeah. And I don't know if there's going to be an option to actually pay for it, but it probably will be because they're a corporation and you rake in money.
They were selling Avatar clothes anyway. You just had to physically go look for them.
Yeah.
So now they're just going to put them in your face.
Well, from what I've heard, they're going to do this thing where they kind of provide challenges, and Game Pass already does that. So you have like, and it's weird shit because they do. It's like a couple things like get this many achievement or get this many gamer points, and it's like add 10 friends. And it's like, dude,
be social.
Like, look, dude, I barely have 10 friends in real life that like I actually love and want to be around constantly. I have a lot of people I know, and I have a lot of people that I like, and they like me, but like, I don't have 10 people that I would be like, I want you at my house. To be there with me, you know what I mean?
I don't think there's.
So it's like now I have to add 10 on Facebook, like
my mama doesn't know where I live.
I don't think there's 10 people I would want to be friends just to get an achievement for. No.
Right. but it's real rewards. Like you get might be chance of like a money grab or something if I'm not mistaken. Like I've seen it, but I have no idea what it is, so I'm just kind of guessing. But like maybe it's a money grab.
I love guessing.
Maybe
that shit, man.
maybe it's like a rewards card where fucking so much off of another game or whatever. I don't know what it is, but it's something. It's something like more. How do you say it? Like outside of the video game realm, like a more like personal type thing.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a good word for it that I can't find right now because the Ghost in the Machine got me.
When they originally started talking about, getting rewards for your achievements, it was originally supposed to be to buy arcade games, and I thought that was great. So you can earn achievements and buy arcade games.
Yeah.
But I don't think now. I mean that again. That was like 6-7 years ago. I remember them talking back on Xbox 360. Yeah. So that's not going to fly in this day.
Here's the thing that kind of bothers me. It's the fact that, all right, like tons of gamers have problems with this loot box situation, and I think it's almost a dangerous step to where like a console itself jumps into it, like whether they're charging you money for it or not. Just the fact that a console's backing this thing.
Yeah.
When like the backlash from the actual people that pay money in game, I don't know, man. It's kind of a dangerous step, right?
It's an interesting step
Because like, okay, say this, if Xbox does it and they do loot boxes, like what's PlayStation gonna do? They're like, all right, we're having a lot of success with loot boxes, but we don't want to get in on that game.
I mean,
You know what I mean? Like why wouldn't they, dude? I mean, competition is competition.
Yeah.
I don't know if PS4 would.
So that becomes the standard.
Oh.
Yeah.
And in the next few weeks, for the first time ever, Nintendo's about to charge for their online usage.
No way.
Yeah.
See, man, like,
That's crazy.
and that's the
just
thing.
starting, like,
Pay me. Oh my goodness. Nintendo, man. Nintendo. Ooh, Nintendo. Ooh. Ooh, Nintendo.
they're about to do their own equivalent of like Xbox Gold or something like that, where like you need to have their online service to be able to play games online.
I will say this, man, and I'm like trying to be positive tonight. I'm gonna continue on a positive thing. Nintendo deserves it. You know what I mean? Like they deserve
agree with
it,
that.
man.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with the move, but fucking Nintendo deserves it, dude. Like, all of these people are finding these little fucking, like nickel and dime you ways to make money. And then Nintendo wants to get in on one. And the backlash is going to be crazy. Like, oh, no,
yeah,
not. But you know why? Because it's like your girlfriend cheating on you. Because it's Nintendo, dude.
That's a really good analogy for it. I wasn't even going that far in my head with it. I was just thinking, like, people that buy Nintendos, unless they're adults already, they have children. And they know that they don't want to get a kid like a violent Call of Duty or zombie shooting game or something like that. But Nintendo still makes fun games to play with that are family friendly.
Yeah, and it's And
I mean, look.
I can't even put it better, man.
So now the kids can't play their games. Like Splatoon is a very cartoony shooter game that is an online only game. So now all of a sudden you bought this game for your kids and now they can't play it until you go pay a monthly fee for it.
I mean, before this happened, Nintendo was the last of the Mohicans.
Yeah.
Like it was the last free internet service, and then they're gonna do this. And in my opinion, I think Nintendo needs as many sales as they can get. I think Nintendo is a slowly dying company.
Well,
that's been struggling.
Nintendo Switch is winning the sales war this past year too.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
I think
That's
it got
good.
like console of the year. Or
That's
something.
good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this, dude. I'm gonna throw this analogy out here, and maybe it's kind of strange, but Nintendo came from like Atari being this groundbreaking thing, and it was what it was. Like, holy shit, this is a new thing. And then Nintendo came and it was like smoked it. And like, I want to appeal to the people that understand that we love heavy metal and like we go that way. But it was that thing, man. Where you had like a Black Sabbath type thing who just came in like game change, like the first time like heavy metal was real heavy metal, and then I'm putting Nintendo on a level of the Dillinger Escape Plan.
Nice. Okay.
They just came and reinvented the wheel.
They just came in and they were like, okay, so you did this and we love this and we're going to show you that we love this while we do this thing that takes it to a whole
different place,
that no one could ever put it, man. Like, between Atari and Nintendo and the massive switch that happened there and like how much further along that shit was, it's the same thing from like, Black Sabbath, like Metallica type band to like what the Dillinger Escape Plan did.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Yeah.
It's just like, holy shit,
Yeah.
like, okay, this is
Nintendo was the
possible
first
now.
Nintendo was the first system that learned how to get the background to scroll to make real good platforming games. Like, they were the first ones to figure it out. So,
And I mean, I think they used that method all the way up because I remember learning like the first Tomb Raider for PlayStation. She just ran still, and the environment actually moved, and I was like, "Whoa!" It blew my mind, But yeah, it's that old school, man. That's that old school stuff, man.
Yeah.
It's timeless. It really is. It's
It
timeless.
just is, man, but it's
There'll
I
never
think
be
it's
a game
super
that beats
cool.
Mario 3.
Oh, see, I'm a Mario 2 guy.
I love Mario 2. I will agree that 3 is better.
Yeah,
And
but
then
Mario 2 was
what's
so
it?
weird.
The one that came out on the Super Nintendo.
Super Mario World was dope.
Super Mario World.
That bitch was dope.
That game, because it was
That
the
game-
same
that was a
shit,
good
but the
Nintendo.
mechanics were tremendous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, cheers to that.
Yeah, let's cheers to Mario World on Super
Mario World on Super
Nintendo.
Nintendo.
Wow. Good God, good God.
But yeah, dude, it was like the same game, but everything was smoother and everything like. They had one level where you got the cape and you could just bounce like from turtle to turtle and fucking, and then next thing you know you have like 99 lives or whatever because you just got all these one ups.
Well, I thought it was fun.
But it was like challenging
Yoshis with
yourself
different power-ups.
instead of the challenge that you initially agreed to. It's like,
Right.
all right, I'm going to challenge myself within this. And I don't think that's something that happened a lot in games back then. Like that shit was just survival mode.
No.
Yeah.
You know.
I just don't consider Mario 2 a real Mario game because a
I
lot
love
of the
that
time
game.
Yeah,
it's so
me
much
too.
easier to play through it not as Mario.
Yeah. I was always Toad, man. He pulled them vegetables up real quick. Wow.
See, I like Luigi.
He said,
Like once you learn how to control him, he was a badass
But
character.
then you would
man.
get to
He
level
was an
4.
asshole, like when you're in the desert trying to ride all those carpets, and he's just like,
Yeah.
whoop, 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 like you make the jump, and then
Yeah.
the thing passes you up, and you gotta like whoop, 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 back to it, and then jump.
Yeah,
Like,
you,
but
you
level
had
in
to
the
figure out
ass.
how to time it.
Level 4, the ice level, I was always
The princess.
Yeah, because
Everybody was a princess.
because
It was the only reasonable choice.
it was like that Nintendo Power secret that one kid learned and then spread it out like a virus. Like, be Princess Peach for level 4. Be Princess
Well, that
Peach
was the
level
thing that
4.
happened though. Like you remember when Mario 3 came out, it was a fun game and you would play it and it was super cool. And then that movie The Wizard came out, and then you were like, I know how to find that fucking whistle now.
Oh, I knew
You know
how to
what I
get the
mean?
third whistle from Nintendo Power, but
See, I didn't know, but when I saw that movie The Wizard, I was like, there's a fucking whistle over there. And then I did it,
it's like the
Like-
one fire brother in the game or something.
but like that was the first thing. Like, like now you can see it on YouTube, but at the time, man, it was a like cheeseball 80s movie with Fred Savage, who's
No.
like super Christian. He's trying to save everybody's lives now. But at the time, he managed this kid who knew how to get that whistle in Mario 3 when nobody else in the world did because they didn't come with instructions on Nintendo games. You got the cartridge, no kind of menu, and then you got a book. And
Yep.
the book was...
Also, that kid was saved because of a sexual assault allegation that was untrue. I don't know if you remember that part of the movie, but when the
I
guy
don't.
when the guy was hunting him down,
Did Fred Savage rape him?
no, when the guy was
He's
hunting him
not
down,
rapey.
when the guy was hunting him down because he was supposed to like find the kid that had been reported kidnapped or whatever it was, like the reason he wasn't around his family anymore, shit.
Oh,
But
so
they show up
Fred
in the
Savage
arcade.
is like, I'm not really going to kidnap you, but I need
No,
people in.
No, this is an adult coming to pick him up, and they find him in an arcade, and the dude goes to kidnap the kid or whatever, and the chick that was with Fred Savage and the other dude or whatever was like, they noticed he was about to be kidnapped or whatever, and the girl goes like, he grabbed my breast, and just points him out while he's holding the other kid or something like that.
No, she's like, yeah, but he was a guy and he was white. He doesn't.
What privilege.
Yeah, but he would have kidnapped that kid had she not made a sexual assault allegation. So for this one time, I'll let it slide, feminists.
Shave your fucking underarms.
Grow that second half of your hair out.
Yeah.
Scratch this. Let's get back on gaming, guys. Xbox Gold Game of the Month. We're gonna do this. Every other show?
Yeah, I believe so.
We're gonna play the Xbox Gold games, all three of us, and give you like an honest review about them. This week, the first week we're doing it, The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing. You guys want Part 3, Junior to 3rd. Shane,
Yeah.
what you thinking about Van Helsing?
I thought it was fun. I enjoyed playing it with you. I think if I was playing it alone, I probably wouldn't have got into it. I think the combat's a little boring, but they have this really in-depth like upgrade system that
Yeah, they
probably
do,
makes it
yeah.
funner and better. But I don't know if it's something that we did wrong, but we didn't get a tutorial with it, so we were just kind of trying to figure that out.
Yeah, they threw it.
And I don't want to shit on the game for not having a tutorial
Yeah.
if somehow we missed it.
I played it by myself, and I did get a tutorial, but the writing was real small and I was half asleep, so like I couldn't. And like it was
So I'm
just.
gonna blame it on the developer.
Well, no, it was real intense. Like there's a lot of shit that
Lot
goes
to
into
read.
that game. Yeah.
See, like him and
some
I
of it just
played,
don't
dude. And
understand.
Yeah.
we did we got 0 tutorials, so we were
Yeah.
trying to figure everything out as we went, and I had fun playing it,
I had fun too.
and I saw the potential in it as a game. Like I definitely wouldn't shit on it.
no.
Oh, no.
No.
I
And
think
I
it'd be a
wanted to.
super fun game, and I'm actually legitimately interested in playing again,
No.
and maybe like the 3 of us, and maybe get my brother on or something,
Yeah, I think
who's
it's-
like used to those types of games. I think we could have a really fun time, doing it together.
right.
Yeah.
Especially
right.
if Paul
Well,
already
well,
had the tutorial
when-
and
when
he
they-
could coach us through this thing.
When they told me this was the game they wanted to play, I was pretty fucking upset about it because I played the first one when it came out and hated it after like an hour. This time, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna get it, play it for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, see what I feel about it, and I actually kind of enjoyed it quite a bit. Like, it's not
No.
great. It's not great,
No,
but
no,
I
no,
do
no.
want to see like what more is involved with it because the characters were funny that you meet along the way, or at least
Yeah.
not laugh out loud funny,
Yeah.
but they're entertaining enough.
It was
Yeah.
comical. You know,
Yeah.
it was meant to be comical.
Comical
you
and
know?
interesting enough
Right.
to where you
You
care
gotta go
about
clear
the story,
road so
but
this
you
guy
don't.
can go rob
Yeah.
somebody. Like that was one of the early missions. Like clear out
Yeah.
the road so this guy can go rob somebody.
See, I turned that mission down because the moral
just
side
did
of me.
The more
And honestly though, like the logical side of me later on as we played, I'm like, we missed that mission completely. Like I turned that down. That was experience points. Like,
Yeah. That's
yeah,
what it's
as a human being, I wouldn't help someone rob someone else, but like as a gamer,
Yeah.
there's
No,
not
I
real
go-
life consequences
Oh,
for that, and like
No, I go Jim Carrey and Yes Man.
I'm
during
not
video
gonna
games.
I'm not gonna have karma
It's
come
okay,
back on me
everything.
tenfold because of a video game choice. Because if that were the case, like I would be dead by BioShock.
Yeah.
Would you harvest all the girls?
At times, I always wanted to do everything with every game.
Yeah.
Although, like, I always felt bad about that choice. And
Because
also,
they're so cute before you suck the life out of them.
they are.
dude, they're looking at you right in the face, and you're like, and
Oh.
as the character, like you're supposed to love him, and you want to
Mhm.
identify with that character, and you feel it.
No.
And killing him, you feel that shit.
Yeah, but what's
Like-
cuter, the look they give you in the face right before you kill them, or the look they give you before they run away from that package in front of that next
Yeah,
vending machine you walk up
that
to?
beautiful package.
Well, that's
yeah.
the thing, though, because I didn't know at first, and the first time I ever played it, I just went bad the whole way. I'm like, fucking, if I can get more upgrades,
Yeah,
it's cool.
that's what I did.
And I'm not trying to derail the Bioshock,
Right.
but then once I played it, like, doing all of the positive choices, I'm like,
So much
the
better.
benefits, like those plasmids and shit that they give you. It's like they're the best ones, dude. You always use them. Like
Yeah.
they're better than everything. It's like all you have to do is just not be a piece of shit for like fucking 4 hours,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then your whole gaming experience is enhanced. You just have to not be a moral scumbag
No.
for like 4 hours of your life.
Yeah, just don't be greedy the first few times, and you're okay for the rest of the
Yeah.
game almost.
Yeah. I think for a free game, Van Helsing is a hell of a deal. I mean, obviously it's free, but it's one of those free games that has a lot to it. You know,
Yeah,
a lot of these gold
definitely
games,
does.
and look, Xbox, we appreciate. I mean, a lot of these people shit on these games. Look, dude, it's free.
Yeah.
You know, you have the choice to download it or not. Yeah, it might be shitty now, but it's free. You know, and I think this one you got.
It was free and it was fun.
It was free and it's fun, but you have like 5 or 6 playable characters.
Well, you
Yeah.
and I played together. Paul played alone.
I
And
played the constructor where I just had a bunch of robots and shit flying around
Nice.
me.
See, I was a big mech, the flamethrower guy,
yeah,
and you were what?
I was a bounty hunter.
The bounty hunter, yeah, which was really cool. I liked your character a lot.
But I think it was that thing where you and I experienced it multiplayer.
Yeah.
And it was fun. We were interested in playing it again. And then Paul did it
I did it solo. And I
solo, and he's interested in playing it with us. So
enjoyed it. Yeah.
there's some kind of potential there.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely, absolutely.
For-
and
free
all of
game,
us are
that's amazing.
different,
Yeah.
and we're all like cynical assholes, like in general.
Mhm.
So like if all of us are willing to play
Okay
that
with
game
it, yeah,
again
it
and
must
want to
be, yeah.
experience it,
Yeah.
in a different way than we already have, then yeah, it's a pretty solid rating, man.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Next week, January 16th, the second free Xbox Gold game comes out, and it's Zombie, but without the E, so it's just Zombi.
What's in your head? In your head.
Zombie, zombie.
Yeah, you know something crazy? Just to get super personal, and I'm not mad at her about it. That's my girlfriend's favorite song.
Oh yeah?
Like in the world,
Nice.
my favorite song.
It's not a bad song.
No.
No, it's not. I don't have anything kind of negative or positive to say about that, but I thought it was an interesting fact that that's my girlfriend's favorite song.
I think it's a great song, but I also don't think it should be sung at any kind of karaoke.
And also,
event
like,
at all.
No.
if you're mad at her for that shit being your favorite song, she can cut your hair really well and make you feel better about yourself.
I
Man,
feel like this
stop
is
it.
not. I feel like that advice has nothing to do with anybody that'll watch this. Outside of you.
Everybody likes haircuts, man, except for you two guys. Like, holy shit! Like the only two people I know that don't like to look fucking proper and like, you know.
Kempt is
I do things that are on video with the two of you. I don't get it.
We look so good together. I mean, we just got this and then this. And...
I know.
My hair is terrible, but
Oh no, it's great.
That looks amazing. I was really into it.
Well, look,
what do y'all
Tom-
think? What do y'all think? What do
Before-
y'all
No,
think?
not close enough.
Before we suck each other's
That
dicks,
was nice, man. That was
we're
slick.
gonna continue on with the podcast. It was getting real personal.
Oh shit. Zombie. Next week is a Tuesday. I think all the games come out on Tuesday. So that means next show we'll review Zombie.
Hold on. Let's do like next two shows.
Next two shows. Yeah.
We
next two
need
shows.
enough time to get into
Yeah,
it.
I like that. And also, if you're unfortunate like me and Paul and don't have the credit card linked up with your account, Tomb Raider Underworld is available for your free Xbox 360 game of the month. So, I mean, I've always loved the free gold games. I mean, I think out of like the year, you might get like 3-4 gems.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's cool too, though? Every now and then they do the thing where there was that game that it looked kind of interesting. The reviews were really bad. None of your friends bought it, so you didn't really have a reference point. But you're like, I was always kind of interested in that, but I got the tiered, so it's free now, and I'll buy it. Like every now and then you have that title, and sometimes it was really fun.
No, absolutely.
Sometimes they're like, this is just as bad as I fucking expected it to be, and I'm glad I didn't pay for it. But sometimes you're like, damn man, it's not an amazing game, but I had a fucking good time playing that.
Yeah. No, I appreciate the.
I think all of them
games
are
a
worth
month.
checking out. Like, one way or the other. If you play for 5 minutes, you like immediately, this ain't my shit.
Well, the thing about
Well,
it
it
is,
saves you money.
yeah.
right.
The thing about it is, and I tell everybody that has enough room in their hard drive, it's like even if you're not interested, still download it because
And
once
just
that
don't
month
install
is once that month is over, it's gone. So
Yeah.
at least have it just in case you want to play it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, Xbox, keep pumping out those live games. We appreciate it. We're almost out of time, but we also like to end on a segment called "What You Gaming On." Shane, what you gaming on?
Women.
Oh! oh!
Damn.
All right.
No, no,
I didn't see that coming.
I know, but I feel like someone is gonna watch this, and I might get a sexual assault allegation placed upon me.
Stop
Thank
it, feminists.
you, bruh.
No.
Realistically, I'm gaming on women. Even though I have a girlfriend, I need to know that everyone wants me. But no, realistically, I'm digging the Van Helsing game. I like that shit. We've been doing Resident Evil 6.
Yeah, we're
I
still
really
on
dig that. The Adam's Venture thing that I mentioned last podcast. I still haven't got into it, but I promise that I will
That's what
at
it's
some
gonna be.
point. But I don't know, man. I've been doing that thing where I play like a couple hours of a game, and not that I'll like it or dislike it. Just nothing's really grabbed me.
Kind of spread it out a little bit.
I've kind of been wanting to try out Cuphead on Expert because we're gonna do that right after this show,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
which
Y'all get
you
ready.
guys will see like half a week before the show comes out. But I don't want to ruin like the save spot or whatever. So I've been itching for that, and I haven't been able to focus. So, whatever we stream, man, I play that and whatever.
Paul, what you been gaming on?
It's been a minute since I turned it on, but this game Wuppo is pretty cool. I don't know how far I am into it.
I actually looked at that not too long ago.
It's interesting, man. It's like a whole lot of problem solving. Like there's fighting involved, but it's interesting. The characters look weird. Everything's weird about it, so it's kind of endearing at times. It's real cute graphics and shit.
Nice.
And for like one or two like little short firefights the other night, I threw back on Mario and Rabbids Battle Kingdom on the Switch.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm still on the Cuphead train. Mega Man but me and my buddy Andy been getting back on that Halo 5 Slayer pretty hard. And that's always fun, So
Okay, so let's get real about this shit before we close it out.
All right.
Because we did a podcast last night that's probably also going to be out in like a week or so. But The Scoop, go check out my man Pickle. We went in there and acted like animals on that show. But we also played a video game at the end of the show. And I don't remember what it was called. It was just eat burritos and fart or something.
Crop Dusting Supreme.
Crop Duster Supreme or something like that.
Okay, Crop Duster Supreme was a cheap game we all played. I was unfortunate enough to go first. And I didn't really understand what was happening.
Tutorial, like we didn't get a tutorial.
So they watched me fail immediately, and then they each progressively did better than the other one. But I lost that battle. But what did y'all think about that game?
I thought it was fun as shit. Like it wasn't the best made game ever, but it was fun enough. And then the cutscenes between levels, there was a storyline built out of like you having to clear out a room because you found a girl pretty, so now you got to fart the room empty and find herself out and bring it back to her and ruin her wedding.
Yeah. And then you went on a plane, you cleared out the plane. I think that was the farthest level we got was a plane. Huh?
Yeah, I think I finished
I think
the plane
it's a weird thing where like you're like, okay, I saw a drop a phone, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna fart everyone at this restaurant. So nobody picks that up. And then, because she was there, obviously it was her phone, so she got farted out of the thing.
So that you could find her phone.
But then you're going to be like, here's your phone, ma'am. I love you, or whatever. Yeah. And then she's like, oh, dear God, I farted and ran the whole place out. And he's like,
I ran everybody
but I did it for you.
But I did it for you. I farted for you.
She's like, dude, you cleared out an airport or an airplane or whatever the situation was. You cleared out an airplane, man. It's like, I think you're beautiful, and I think you're probably a fucking awesome human being. But like you cleared out an airplane by farting on people,
and it looked like first class international flight. Like those were deep ass roads.
I was about to say that was
a legit flight.
That's going across oceans. Like you had three seats here, two on. Oh yeah, 2 hours.
Well, like you farted on people and cleared everything out because of that. And it's like that one instance where you'd be like, dude, like, you're an asshole and offensive, and it kind of means different things. You know what I'm saying? It's a very odd situation. It was an interesting game.
Shit. Well, speaking of clearing out, we got to clear the fuck out of here. We're out of time. Guys, we appreciate you tuning in to a Savage Gaming podcast. Check us out on YouTube at A Savage Gaming Experiment, on Facebook at A Savage Gaming Experiment, and on Twitch, which we're about to Twitch right now, Cuphead on Expert at A Savage Gaming Experiment. We appreciate you guys tuning in.
And if you find a chick's cell phone,
don't fart
on her.
Don't
like
fart
that.
on her.
Obviously, that hasn't worked yet. So
keep the gas in your anus.
Peace.
And we out.
Later.